Welcome to Lady E's Dark Tales. In tonight's bone-chilling encounter, a simple late-night dog walk transforms into a terrifying confrontation with the unknown. What lurks in our skies when darkness falls, watching and waiting? Something far more sinister than mere technology haunts our nighttime world. Dim the lights and hold your pets close, my dear viewers, as we delve into a tale of otherworldly surveillance in a story I call Stop Calling Them Drones.
I'm so sick of people calling them drones. If no one knows what the hell they are, what they're made of, who's flying them, or why they even exist, then they aren't drones. They're UFOs. Call them what they are: unidentified flying objects. None of this sanitized UAP crap the government came up with to make it sound less terrifying. UFOs. Period. And I've seen one. I didn't want to believe it at first. Hell, I even tried convincing myself it was some secret military project or a prank played by some idiot with a hobby drone. But no, drones don't do what these things do. Drones don't make you feel like you're the one being hunted. It happened 2 nights ago. I wasn't planning on recording this, but I can't get it out of my head. Maybe it'll help if I get the story out. I was out walking my dog, Rusty, around 11 p.m. We live on the edge of town, near an empty stretch of farmland where the streetlights thin out and the sky opens up. On clear nights, you can see stars for miles. It's the kind of quiet, peaceful place where nothing strange ever happens. Or at least, that's what I thought. We just made it to the gravel path that cuts through the fields when Rusty stopped dead in his tracks. His ears perked up, tail stiff, body tense like he'd caught a scent. I followed his gaze, but all I saw was the field, empty and swaying gently in the breeze. "Come on, boy," I muttered, tugging at his leash. But Rusty wouldn't budge. He let out this low, rumbling growl, something I'd never heard from him before. That's when I saw the lights. At first I thought it was a plane. Just a single white light moving across the sky, way too high up to be anything weird. But then it stopped, dead still. Planes don't do that. Not even helicopters hover that smooth. Then it started moving again, only this time it was heading straight down. The light dropped so fast it made my stomach flip. I thought it was crashing, but it stopped again, maybe 100 feet above the field. That's when I realized it wasn't just one light, it was 3. They were arranged in a perfect triangle, glowing faintly white, but with these strange, shimmering halos around them, like heat waves on asphalt. The lights hovered silently, just sitting there in the sky like they were waiting for something. Drones, I told myself, though even then, I didn't believe it. Rusty barked, sharp and frantic, snapping me out of my daze. I yanked his leash and turned back toward home, but I'd barely taken 2 steps when the lights moved again. I say moved, but that word doesn't do it justice. They didn't glide or drift like a plane or even dart like a bird. They just shifted. 1 second they were above the field, the next they were over the road ahead of me, no in between. Like they teleported. My heart was pounding now. Rusty was pulling at the leash, practically choking himself to get away. I didn't blame him. Everything in my body was screaming at me to run, but I couldn't. My legs wouldn't work. The lights started to descend again, and as they got closer, I realized they weren't lights at all, not in the way you'd expect. They weren't casting beams or glowing outward. The light felt contained, almost alive, pulsing softly like a heartbeat. And then I saw the shape behind them. It was massive, bigger than a house, but completely silent. A dark, solid triangle with edges so sharp they looked like they could cut the sky. The lights were attached to each corner, but the rest of it was blacker than black, like it was eating the stars behind it. This wasn't a drone. This wasn't anything I'd ever seen before. The air changed as it got closer. It felt heavier, charged, like the atmosphere before a lightning storm. My skin prickled, and there was this low hum, so deep I could feel it, more than hear it. Rusty was whining now, tail tucked, trying to pull me back toward the house. But I couldn't move. I couldn't even blink. All I could do was stare as the thing hovered just above me, no more than 30 feet away. And then it stopped. For a moment, everything was completely still. No wind, no hum, nothing. Just me, Rusty, and that thing, hanging in the air like it owned the sky. Then I felt it. It wasn't a sound or a touch, but a presence, heavy and overwhelming, pressing into my mind. It felt like it was looking through me, peeling back layers, digging into thoughts I didn't even know I had. I don't know how long it lasted, seconds, minutes, maybe longer, but when it stopped, I collapsed to my knees, gasping for air. When I looked up, it was gone. No lights, no hum, no massive black triangle. Just the empty field and the stars above, like nothing had happened. I stumbled back home in a daze, dragging Rusty along behind me. My hands were shaking so bad I couldn't get the key into the lock. When I finally got inside, I sat on the floor for what felt like hours, trying to process what I'd seen. And now, here I am, recording this, because I don't know what else to do. Don't call it a drone. You hear me? Don't insult me or yourself by calling it that. Drones are toys, machines, human inventions. What I saw wasn't human-made. It wasn't from here. I don't care what the government says or how they try to spin it with their fancy acronyms and vague press releases. UFOs are real, and they're not just lights in the sky. They're watching us. Hey everyone, this is a follow-up. It may not mean anything, but Rusty won't stop staring at the window. He's growling again, low and deep. I think they're back. Hey guys, I'm back again with another follow-up. The lights are outside. They're closer this time. I don't think they're just watching anymore.
And so, my beloved audience, we've witnessed one person's haunting encounter with these mysterious visitors. But our journey into the unknown isn't over yet. Our next witness has an even darker tale to tell, one of transformation, terror, and the price of bearing witness to things we were never meant to see. Steel your nerves and check your mirrors, my darlings, as we continue our exploration of what watches us from above in our next chilling tale I call Drones Don't Leave Witnesses.
I didn't really believe the rumors about the drones until I saw one myself. It was 2 weeks ago, late at night, when I was driving home from my cousin's place out in the middle of nowhere. He lives in a small, sleepy town that's mostly surrounded by farmland. No streetlights, barely any houses for miles. Just a 2-lane road cutting through fields that stretch forever. Perfect place to get lost in your thoughts. Perfect place for something weird to happen. I was halfway through the drive when I noticed lights in the sky. At first, I thought it was just a plane, but then I realized it wasn't moving like one. It hovered, dipped, then shot straight up. Not fast like a jet, but smooth, controlled, like it was searching for something. The thing was massive too, bigger than any drone I'd ever seen. It had this triangle shape with bright white lights on each corner, and a red one that pulsed slowly in the center. I pulled over to watch, trying to figure out what the hell it was. My brain was scrambling for an explanation. Maybe it was one of those military drones I'd read about online. Maybe a weather monitoring thing. But then it turned, and I swear, it aimed itself right at me. At first I tried to convince myself I was imagining it, just a coincidence. I mean, why would a drone care about me? But it started getting closer, lowering itself over the field next to my car. The lights were so bright, they lit up the grass like it was daytime. My heart was pounding. I grabbed my phone and started recording, but the screen just went black. The camera wouldn't work, neither would the flashlight. That's when I realized my car's engine had died too. I hadn't even noticed. It was so quiet out there. The silence felt like a weight pressing down on my chest. The thing hovered there, maybe 50 feet above me, and then I saw it, a thin dark beam stretching down from the center light. It wasn't like a spotlight or anything you'd expect. It was weird. Like the air itself was bending, rippling, almost alive. I don't know how else to describe it. And then I felt it, not on my skin, but inside me. Like every nerve in my body was vibrating at the same frequency. My vision blurred, and I swear I heard this low hum, deep and metallic, like it was coming from inside my own skull. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe, couldn't think. That's when I blacked out. I woke up hours later, slumped over the steering wheel. The sun was just starting to rise, and the drone was gone. My car started right up, like nothing had happened. But I didn't feel right. When I got home, I checked my phone. The video file was there, but it wouldn't play, just static and distortion. I tried uploading it to Reddit, but the post wouldn't go through. No matter what I did, the app crashed every time I tried to share it. The next few days were a blur. I felt like I had the worst hangover of my life. Headaches, nausea, these random muscle spasms that would jerk me awake at night. But it wasn't just that. Something about the world around me felt off. My dog wouldn't come near me anymore. My mom called me, and when I answered, she said my voice sounded strange, like there was a delay or an echo. The worst part was my reflection. Every time I passed a mirror, I'd swear it didn't look right. Just a split second where my movements didn't line up, or my expression wasn't quite mine. I started digging into drone sightings, trying to figure out what had happened to me. That's when I stumbled across a bunch of old forum threads, people describing exactly what I'd seen. The triangle-shaped drones, the weird beam, the blackout. One guy's post hit me like a punch to the gut. He claimed the drones weren't just scanning for something, they were changing people, tuning them, like a radio frequency. He said the government knows all about it, but they can't stop it. Hell, maybe they're even behind it. He said he'd been marked, and that the drones don't leave witnesses for long. That post was the last thing he ever wrote. A week after my encounter, the headaches got worse. I'd hear the hum again sometimes, faint but constant, like tinnitus with a pulse. I stopped going outside, stopped answering my phone. Something was wrong with me, and I didn't want anyone else to notice. But last night, I saw the lights again. Through my bedroom window, hovering just above the tree line. They weren't random this time. They were looking for me. They're outside right now, so I've barricaded myself in the bathroom, but I can still hear the hum, louder now, vibrating through the walls. My reflection in the mirror is smiling at me, but I'm not. I don't think it's me anymore. If you see the drones, don't stop. Don't watch. Don't try to record them. They don't want to be seen, and if they notice you, they'll make sure you can't warn anyone else. And if you feel the hum, it's already too late. I just heard the window break. I think it's inside. Hey guys, I'm back. I'm sorry everyone about my previous post. I was having a little bit of a breakdown there, but I'm fine now. I deleted that video about the drones and the crazy ideas about people being replaced. If you viewed it, just disregard it. That wasn't me.
Welcome back, dear viewers, to the final chapter of tonight's trilogy of What Lurks in the Skies Above. Think twice before hitting that upload button, for some secrets demand to stay hidden. In this cautionary tale, a simple prank video attracts attention from those who guard the boundaries between what we should and shouldn't know. Secure your devices and clear your browser history, my friends, as we delve into our final story, Prankster Meets the Men in Black.
I'll admit it, I was part of the problem. All the buzz about these so-called drones over New Jersey, the lights in the sky, the weird sightings near military bases. Yeah, some of that was me. Not all of it, there's no way. But enough. I wasn't some kind of genius engineer or conspiracy nut. Just a bored guy with a knack for tech and a warped sense of humor. I owned a fleet of drones, tricked out with custom LED rigs, and I flew them late at night to freak people out. It had started as a joke. A few blurry videos here and there, some breathless Reddit posts, and the chaos spread like wildfire. People bought into it faster than I'd expected. UFO sightings, alien theories, government cover-ups. It was all hilarious. At least it was. Last night changed everything. It was supposed to be my magnum opus. I had 3 drones ready to go, all decked out with bright triangular light formations. The plan was simple: fly them in formation over a stretch of farmland where sightings kept popping up. A few impossible-looking moves, then they'd zip out of sight. Classic UFO shtick. 2 of the drones performed perfectly, but the third, my best one with the 4K camera, started glitching. The signal cut out just as I was maneuvering it into position. I thought it was interference, maybe a cell tower, or bad weather. I never considered the truth. Not until I saw it. At first, I thought it was another prankster cashing in on the UFO hysteria, but this wasn't a prank. It wasn't like anything I'd ever seen before. It wasn't just a cluster of lights. It was a massive, solid object, triangular and black, gliding through the sky as if gravity didn't matter. Silent, effortless, alien. Curiosity overrode my instincts, which were screaming at me to leave it alone. I directed my remaining drone toward it, trying to get closer, but as the drone approached, the lights on it flickered, then went dead. The controls froze. It was as if the triangle had reached out and plucked the drone from the sky. I stared at my tablet, helpless, as the camera feed struggled to hold on. For a split second, I thought I saw something under the triangle, something moving. It wasn't mechanical or human. It was alive. Then the feed cut out completely. The last sound the drone recorded before it went dark was a metallic screech, deep and piercing, like nails on a chalkboard, amplified through a speaker. I sprinted out to the field to find my drone. The night was silent except for my ragged breathing and the crunch of my boots on gravel. When I finally found it, the drone was smashed, its battery drained, the camera intact but unresponsive. I grabbed it and ran back to my car, my hands shaking. By the time I got home, I couldn't stop thinking about what I'd seen. I plugged the camera into my laptop, desperate to salvage anything. The footage was mostly static, but there was one frame, just one. The triangle was there, clear as day, massive and imposing against the night sky, blurry, yes, but unmistakable. And in the corner of the frame, just barely visible, was something else. A shape, humanoid, but twisted in ways that made my skin crawl. I sat staring at that single frame until the knock on my door jolted me back to reality. It wasn't a polite knock. It was sharp and forceful, the kind of knock that demands an answer. When I opened the door, 2 men stood on my porch. They wore black suits, black ties, and dark sunglasses, even though it was barely sunrise. They didn't introduce themselves, and they didn't ask for permission to enter. The taller one, with pale, plasticky skin, told me they needed to talk about my drones. The questions came fast and sharp. They knew everything, my pranks, the fake UFO videos, even the exact times and locations of my flights. They handed me a folder filled with printed screenshots from my drone's feed. Among them was the triangle. The taller man told me I was interfering in matters that didn't concern me. He said I needed to stop flying drones immediately. When I tried to brush it off, he cut me off, cold. He asked if I thought it was a joke. The shorter man stepped forward, his voice low and almost gentle as he warned me not to upload the footage. He promised I'd regret it. I watched as they confiscated my drone, my camera, and my laptop. They didn't explain, didn't offer a reason, and I didn't dare argue. By the time they left, I was shaking so hard I could barely lock the door behind them. I haven't touched my drone since. I haven't even looked at the sky. Whatever's out there, it's not a prank, and I don't know who or what it is. And those men? I don't know who or what they are. But I feel like they weren't here to protect the public. They were here to protect it. Now there's a black car parked outside my house. It's been there all day. The blinds are drawn, but I know they're watching. Damn, the power just went out. If this post disappears, you'll know why.
And so, my beloved audience, our trilogy of otherworldly surveillance comes to an end. 3 different encounters, 3 different fates, but one chilling truth. Perhaps some mysteries are better left unexplored. Have you ever spotted something strange in the night sky? Or had your technology mysteriously fail at just the wrong moment? Share your encounters in the comments below, if you dare. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to Lady E's Dark Tales for more supernatural narratives that blur the lines between reality and nightmare. Until next time, sweet screams, my darlings. And remember, when you gaze into the night sky, something might be gazing back.